Hello, I'm Robbie Fowler and you're watching Redmen TV.
Hello, welcome to Redmen TV after a morning which saw the mighty Reds come away with a 2-1 victory against the Brisbane Roar at the Suncorp Stadium all the way over in Australia, making it 2 wins in 2 from pre-season 2015-2016. I think first and foremost nowhere near as, I don't know, as fun, I guess, as the Thailand 11 game in the week, but then again, you know, they were essentially a pub side thrown together for a one-off game, whereas you could tell straight from the off that Brisbane Roar, for whatever troubles they've had since they last won the league and what have you, know, they are a good side. They're an actual team, a team of people who know each other and have played with each other and have trained with each other, and that was the best thing about the game for me. Yeah, it wasn't like the mad exhibition style stuff that we to be honest, we'd all just like pre-season to be, where you go in and you snot a team 4 or 5-0 and everyone feels amazing. It had some edge to it, and there were times in that game where I thought Brisbane were absolutely superb. On another day, you know, they once or twice they just passed it round us, cut us open, and got into dangerous positions in the box. So definite warning signs, and it's funny because we were talking on the subscriber shows this week, I think, about how Liverpool made the right choices in the kind of opposition they're coming up against in pre-season this year. You know, last year we played some massive names in world football, and I sort of put across this notion that actually, you know, if you're going to play against teams like, you know, like Milan and like United and like City and Roma and what have you, are those teams actually going to go there and give it their all? Because you think they would in terms of the prestige, but you know, you don't want to give away too much against big teams, and there's also a lot of pride at stake, and you maybe don't take those games seriously. Whereas if you're going to play against teams like, you know, it's not, I don't think this is actually being disrespectful to teams like Brisbane, but that's the biggest game in a lot of the careers of these players, getting the chance to come up against Liverpool. They're going to go out there and they're going to show what they've got and show what they can do. They'll feel like they've got something to prove, so they'll make it a competitive game, and I felt that was absolutely true of this game. So as such, on paper, people might go, well, Liverpool should be going there and smashing them, and it's not a competitive fixture. It really was. It was actually a good, it looked like a proper game of football, which, if you take my meaning on that. But what was good for me is, it was tricky at times, but the players who actually shone through, I was more impressed as a result of that. So Joe Gomez playing at left back, we saw that in the starting 11, and the immediate thinking is, what are we doing playing him there? You know, playing another guy out of position. Well, as I tweeted before the game, nobody really, when we put Flano to left back a couple of seasons ago, nobody immediately thought, there we go, nailed on. What a great decision that is. He's going to be a sensational left back. And he did a terrific job there. And as did Joe Gomez today, I was very, very impressed. And I think if you can try to kind of track the tweets and reactions throughout the game, he was probably the most talked about for Liverpool across social media, particularly on Twitter. And rightly so. I mean, no sense in getting carried away. It is still a pre-season game, what have you. But you know, you've got to perform to a level in these games, and I think he performed above a level that anyone would have expected, given the opponents, given the situation, given how early it is in pre-season, etc., etc. So very, very impressed with Joe Gomez. Klein on the side, I didn't really, didn't shine as much, but I thought was kind of solid. I've seen a few negative comments about him, but I mean, whatever at this point. Pre-season's a funny one, because I think what gets me is that you're entitled. I guess you shouldn't really get carried away in a positive sense, but equally you shouldn't get carried away in a negative sense. But I kind of don't see the point in putting the negativity out there. Whereas I suppose by the same logic, why would you bother putting the positivity out? Because it's as meaningless either way. But realistically, I think it's just because you just need to be less miserable and cheer up, because pre-season you've got to love football as much as possible, because it is miserable and it is hard work at times, particularly when you're shit in the season. But in pre-season, if you can't get enjoyment out of it, don't bother, go home, go watch the cricket. If you're an Australian, it's probably boss at the minute. Whatever, crown green balls, all that shit. Anyway, I digress. I thought Danny Ings was very impressive. Shame he didn't get a goal, but some great touches in and around the box. Surprised by how good his feet are, how great his close control was, and how well he linked play. I thought was very good. Jordan Henderson burst into the box, good to see. James Milner, whereas Henderson, I thought really impressed out of the two of them in the last game. I thought Milner was the one above him this, and that's great. Because that's what you kind of want from your midfield sometimes. It'd be great if both of them are absolutely sensational, and that'll come. But sometimes in football, if the left one don't get you, then the right one will, as to use an old Bobby the Brain Heenan expression from old school WWF. So I'm very impressed with Milner. Great to see him get his goal. Lallana as well. You know, I don't think he meant that touch in the build up to it, but great finish for his goal. You know, he's getting himself in the position. Even though he does basically spoon his touch, he reacts to it and he scores the goal. So all the credit's got to go to him there. Jordan Ibe looked great coming off the bench. Great pace, great power, direct running, tore them apart at times. Would have been nice to see him take his goal, but again, we forget sometimes he is only young. Look at what a prospect that lad is. But let's leave the comparisons with Sterling to one side, or at least one side long enough to check it out on the redmentv.com, where we did quite a bit on that on RMTV Question Time, which will be up later today. Do check that out. No, I was happy with that. You know, I don't think you can complain. I think when we were 1-0 down, I was thinking, you're already mentally starting to think, it's only pre-season. You're starting to make your excuses. But, you know, we got the equaliser, we went on and got the winner. James Milner, Megs someone in the build-up to it, and it is Megs, not nuts, in case you're watching 101 great goals. So, yeah, look, good. A very pleasant way to spend a Friday morning, as far as I'm concerned. Long may that continue. We roll on to Adelaide on Monday, and hopefully the book can continue the run, get a run out. What happened to Moreno, I don't know. We discussed a little bit about that on the subscribe shows, but I'm hoping that it's just because these first two games were good opportunities to test out other people, because we know Moreno's our proper left back, but we don't know who our second choice is, and Gomez, you know, not conclusively, but he's shown enough there, shown signs in a positive sense that he might save us a few million quid at least as our second choice left back, and if he's done that, then I think it's a phenomenal piece of management by the manager to give him and give Maguire these games in pre-season, and that's hopefully what it's all about. Or Moreno's injured, and it's just we've had no choice. Time will tell on that one. Anyway, if you want to watch more Redmen TV good, as mentioned, the RMTV Question Time. I've got the questions. Yes, seamless. And that sounded dead healthy as well. Talking about excited Christian Benteke, of course. Who's going to be better in 5 years' time? Ibe or Sterling, as mentioned. Would United be considered title challengers this year? So, if Man United fans, if you want to check that out and feel rage, then do. Where do we see Firmino playing? More about Joe Gomez. Royce, of course. Go check out the RNTV Question Time on the redmentv.com. I'll annotate to it at the end of the video. Just click through. It's completely free for a month for you to go and check out. If you like it, keep it. It's £2 a month after that. If you don't, whatever, man. Just keep watching the free stuff on YouTube and be happy. Anyway, that should be the overriding theme of this. Be happy. Enjoy your weekend. Look forward to next weekend. If we don't see it on the redmentv.com, we'll see it back here post Adelaide. Ta-ra. The centre forward is probably... There's not a vast amount of business left to be done this summer.
No, I think that was a big thing, that trying to get everything done early, and I think that is the one big one outstanding. I think as Chris touched on, I think the left back will be one, if as expected, Enrique finally gets the message and goes.